We, the people in the house. Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the United States Private Enterprise Free State with another public announcement. So, my people, how many of y'all want to be really, really free? Well, if you want to be free, gather in, gather in, gather in. Gather in, all the people in the house, gather in. This is the United States Private Enterprise Free State with another public announcement. I shouldn't have left you with a strong lesson to free you. So, my people, we are going to talk about today, you see the topic, the correct registry. Now, if you want to get your documents uploaded to the right and correct registries so that you cannot be hassled, harmed, harassed by you know who, give us, the United States Private Enterprise Free State, a call. 407 300 5377. We are working with a company right now that puts you right on the registry, my people. All your documents, okay? The documents that you have been given from day one for the state that you were born in. Oh, you thought that we didn't know? Now, you have some gurus that are taking you around the mulberry bush. We don't have time to go around the mulberry bush, my people. Okay? The only thing that you have time for right now is to get this message that I'm about to drop on you. Now, there's a guru going around talking about the alien property custodian. But guess what, my people? That office does not exist. It has not existed since World War II. So, that guru, who calls himself a master teacher, is taking you around the mulberry bush. Now, let's separate the facts and from the assumption, my people. Let's start there first, okay? Now, because the topic is so misunderstood about the alien property custodian, what is the alien property custodian? Well, anybody can go and look it up, but guess what? The alien property custodian was a real historical office, not an active modern agency you can file claims against. The alien property custodian, we do not file a notice of claim to no alien property custodian. The office does not exist. There's no one in that office. It was created during World War I under the Trading with the Enemy Act. Its role was to seize and manage property in the U.S. owned by enemy nationals, mainly Germans at the time. It continued in some form through World War II. Now you have to remember that Germans were also brown colored people. They were also Tarish, okay? Tartarian. Now, it continued in some form through World War II. It no longer exists today as an operating office, my people. Today, any remaining related functions are handled by the Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, which deals with the sanctions, not private individual estates or citizen accounts. Okay? Now, basically, my people, if you want to send any notices of claim, you have to send them to the new acting attorney general and to the office in Washington, D.C., is where you're going to send your notice of claim. So you're going to have to go and study all of the notice of claim. And you can go right on up and just find it yourself because it's your notice of claim. It's not my notice of claim. It's what you are noticing a claim to the Attorney General because that is the true alien property custodian. As of today, as of April the 2nd, the old alien property custodian had got fired. Okay? So there's a new alien property custodian. The other one, the prior one was a female. Now it's a male. So, my people, basically, you have to do your own due diligence, or you can call us up 407 300 5377 and we can give you the drop on how to upload all your documents to show proof that you are the age of majority. It goes directly into the system, and you can start getting all your debts paid on your own through Registry. 407 300 5377. This is the United States private enterprise free state, okay, where we are free in the land of commerce. Now, my people, there isn't a current name you can use because the position no longer exists. The alien property custodian was a historical office and it had different individuals serving as custodian over time, mainly during World War I and World War II. Notably, some of these individuals who held the office: one, A. Mitchell Palmer from 1917 to 1919. 2. Francis P. Garvan from 1919 to 1921. After that period, the office was dissolved and its functions were absorbed into other parts of the U.S. government. Now, there is no modern alien property custodian, but related responsibilities fall under Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC. They deal with sanctions, blocked foreign assets, national security related financial controls. Now, there is no current alien property custodian. There is no active office or official you can name or file against. Any reference to it today is historical, not operational. Therefore, you must take all your notices of claims to the U.S. Attorney General located in Washington, D.C. So, the guru, master teacher, that comes on Monday and Wednesday is taking you around a mulberry bush, people. You have no time to waste to get your documents in the registry. Give us a call, 407 300 5377, and we can get those documents and help you navigate your freedom right now on your own. You don't have to step in to the county clerk at all. Okay? We got the dibs. We got the drop. We got the in on how to do your own process sitting wherever you are. If you are homeless, you don't have to be. You can free yourself on your phone wherever you are. If you are in cars or if you are under bridges, wherever the fuck you are, if you have a phone, you can be free. Now, give us a holler, 407 300 5377, and we can give you the drop top on what's going down and how to get free and get your paperwork into the registry. Okay, without walking down into the county clerk and being humiliated in front of everybody, or getting your documents turned away without a proper rebuttal of why they will not file your document. Now, you cannot walk into the county clerk office and try to put a motherfucking personal property onto your trust without doing several steps before that. Why are you getting caught out there like that, my people? So, now, when it did exist, the office operated out of Washington, D.C., generally associated with Office of the Alien Property Custodian, Washington, D.C. No active mailing address as of today, 2026. Now, the modern agency handling similar matters. Now, if you're looking for where foreign asset control is handled now, that falls under, guess what? Call us up and we'll give you that address. Now, what are some of these points that you need to take away? You can't not send legal filings to an alien property custodian today. Any such filings would be undeliverable and ignored. Don't waste your time noticing the alien property custodian, my people. It's not going to work. You will be undelivered and ignored. Now, for anything current, you must use a real active agency or a legal party. The agency is the U.S. Attorney General's office. The legal party is you, the executor. You are over the Attorney General. The Attorney General has no rights to your property if you have taken control over your estate. Yes, my people, it's all about a state. It has always been about a state. So, check it. Now, there is no person currently in charge of the Alien Property Custodian Office. The Alien Property Custodian Office was abolished. So, there is no director, there is no custodian, there is no active officials, no current chain of command. But there is the Attorney General, the U.S. Attorney General. Now, the people who were in charge were, I told you already. So, if you're trying to identify modern equivalent authority, it would fall under Office of Foreign Assets Control. The person in charge there is the director of OFAC. This position changes over time and is not called Alien Property Custodian. No current person exists in that role. The title is historical only. There is no valid official you can name today under that title. But let's go in and let's break this down a little bit further for my peoples who need to know. Now, you have been rocking with the United States Private Enterprise Free State. Peace to all my people in the chat. Ha ha. How you doing, Camilla? How you doing, Penny? How you doing, Gummy Bear? Yep, what up? So, my people, listen to this. Just listen to this. We are going to tell you something, okay, that you really need to understand. So, the Attorney General, there's a new Attorney General. As of April the 2nd, we have a new Attorney General for the U.S. Attorney's Office right now. That's who you file your notice of claim to. You have your notice of claim. You have to go and check out what a notice of claim is, how to properly file that notice of claim, my people. Okay? Because the notice of claim is how you get all your property returned back to you. Okay? So, if you want, you can holler at the United States Private Enterprise Free State 407-300-5377. Okay? And we can get you on the proper road to upload all your documents into the right registry that will make you free, where you will not be stopped and hassled by the real enemy, because we are not the enemy of the state. They are the enemy of the state, because we have always been on the land, because we are we the people, okay? And we have always been sovereignty of the sovereign land. So, if you record a notice of claim, then you're going to have to go look that up. You have to record a notice of claim to the Attorney General, because the Attorney General has taken over the Alien Property Custodian Office. So if you don't believe me, go look it up for yourself. You need to be studying Title 46 USC. Everything in Title 40 6 USC is going to drop what you need. Okay, so, we got the drop on the upload, my people. You need the upload of your documents. And I know most people don't know what we're talking about. That's why you're still running around here trying to pay a bill that never gets paid, because you don't know how to operate your vessel. We specialize here on the operation of vessels, because you are a vessel. You may still be lost at sea. What brings you back to the land, my people? You got to give us a call. You got to get that registry. You got to get that upload. You want to come back to the land? You got to get an upload into the right registry that will status correct you. And we're teaching you how to do it yourself. Sitting anywhere. You could be on the beach and you could be uploading your documents into the registry to be free. Okay. So, do you understand why there are county clerks and a county clerk office? Okay, do you understand why there are lawyers and why they want to create the trust for you? Why they want to create your will for you? Why they want to take your will or trust and your property and go and file it down at the county for you? Why would you want that when you can do it yourself and remain and contain all your rights to your property? It's all about property, personal property, real property. What is your property? You need to understand what is real property and what is personal property before you go down to the county clerk. But you don't need to go to the county clerk if you come on over to the United States Private Enterprise Free State, where we are teaching you the classes for $25. Okay? So, 407 300 5377, my people. We got the drop, top on it. We got the download on it. And this is for every 50 states. We know how to get you free, completely free. Okay? That's the bottom line. You want to make sure that your trust is properly uploaded and the trust is giving notice that a trust exists to the entire world so that you don't have no problems while you are navigating in your conveyance vehicles. Okay. So the vehicle is on land. Okay. The vessel is still out at sea. Have you gotten your vessel yet? Do you even know what your vessel is? Well, there are a whole bunch of vessels that you have. Well, can we go into one vessel? One vessel is a court case. That is a vessel, my people. Okay. And that vessel is actually real property. Yep. It's real property. That one vessel, one court case is real property that can be transferred with a bill of sale into a trust. Okay? But there are things that you have to do before you decide to either upload or walk into the county. So, those that walk into the county must know what the fuck they're doing because the county will turn you away. For real. Okay? Them niggas will tell you a lot of shit down at the county clerk's office, making you look real stupid. For real. I know for fact. Okay? Because I've done it several times out of my own ignorance. So, now, my people, legal standing is what you want in the game, okay? Transition to Attorney General. Now, the executor, over the entire estate. And how do you know when you become executor over the entire estate? I'm going to give you a little fucking taste of reality. You want a dose of it right now, my people? When you go to get an EIN number, okay, You'll know when you are the executor of the entire estate, because any EIN number that you get, the second name on the second line of the EIN number is going to say the person, and it will say John Doe, General Executor. That's how you know when you have done the paperwork right in various amounts of systems other than the IRS. You have to know where you're uploading to be the general executor over the entire estate. Okay? You have to know how to move with your paperwork. It's not a game of chess, my people, and it's damn sure not a game of checkers. This is a game of life. And if you have been labeled the enemy of the state, then you know that you have to learn how to operate your paperwork. The general executor is the king and the queen on the board. General executor, executor trustee. Take a pick. But the general executor is over everything, is over the attorney general. Now, if you know how to move as a general executor, you have to have done several steps before you can even be acknowledged as the general executor. Get with us, 407-300-5377. We giving classes $25. That's it for you to learn this, because we know here at the United States Private Enterprise Free State how much money you will have to come out of your pocket with to be free. Okay? So, like I said, you need legal, authenticated, notarized standing, okay, in law, okay, justice, okay. You need to transition everything to the attorney general, okay. Now, in 1974, by recognition, Plan Number 1, the function and duties of the alien property custodian were transferred to the Attorney General, ending the independent office. In 1947, it was a reorganization. So, you must step to the Attorney General with a notice of claim, and in your notice of claim, you would have to be the general executor over your entire estate with paperwork, everything. Okay? Now, what is the representational function? During World War II, the custodian also acted on behalf of individuals in enemy-occupied territories who could not defend their interests in U.S. courts. Okay? Custodian generally refers to a person having change of something, such as a receiver or trustee in bankruptcy, or a person managing property for a child. What do they have you labeled as? Incompetent idiot. Not the age of majority. That is why you have to be the age of majority to operate your estate on the land. Okay? Now, alien property custodian, the specific federal official empowered to take title to property of foreign nationals in the U.S. during wartime. This is wartime, people. You are the enemy of the state. If you read the Enemy of the Trading with the Enemy of the State Act, then you should understand why you should be creating your own state. STATE. You must create your own state to come out of their jurisdiction. And you are not at war. You are at peace. So, there are 4 pillars, and those 4 pillars are 4 functions that you must have to govern and self-govern your estate. Okay? So, it's so fucking easy a caveman can do it, my people. Why aren't you doing it? Because you're studying under the wrong motherfucking master teacher gurus. They give you driplets of information, and then they charge you enormous amounts, with their seminars or whatever they do. When the information, we're teaching it right here for $25. What you need right now before the shit hits the fan, okay? So, a lot of people don't even have their immunity, meaning that you cannot be bothered by no one, stopped by no one, unless you have harmed someone or someone's property. And if you have not done that, then there's no reason for them to be harassing you straight up. But you don't really know all your rights. This comes down to rights and jurisdiction and nationality. So that is why you must have your own state, your own court, your own bank, and a trust. Straight up. If you don't have that, my people, then you're not self-governing. Anybody can run over you at any moment, in any time, at anywhere. That's how it goes down. Now, Trading with the Enemy Act of 1917, you need to go and read it. Okay? Because the primary function was to seize, manage, and dispose of property in the United States belonging to enemies or allies of enemies, including foreign nationals and corporations from Axis. So, when you really read the Trading with the Enemy Act, you know that you need to be going to start studying the treaties, setting up your state declaration. A state is different from a trust. A state allows you to create laws, create birth certificates, create all documents for yourself to self-govern. It allows you to create licenses. It allows you to do everything for your jurisdiction, for your state. It grants you the jurisdiction of protection from other states. A trust is protecting personal property and real property. The bank helps you to protect your assets and grow your assets. Okay? So I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all need to start listening to real gurus that are doing the real work out here. And we're giving classes like Gene Keaton was giving classes for $25. 407-300-5377. Okay? So my people, if you understand, if you overstand what we just dropped on you, because we always got the drop, we always got the 411, And we here because this is a 911 right now, because this is wartime. War never ends. War is always going to go on because there are portals on the planet that have all the resources that connect to other worlds, other universes, other galaxies, other star systems. And that portal out there in Iraq that's the portal. They've been fighting over that portal ever since humans realized and discovered what that portal connects to. So, my people, the people, okay? We, the indigenous people, we, the Tarshish people, Tartarian people, the MUURS people, not the negative MOORS people. The MUURS were the positive MERS, okay? So, my people, y'all need to understand something. You know what? What is the ally of the enemy? Does anybody know what the ally of the enemy is? Well, such other individuals or body or class of individuals as may be natives, citizens, or subjects of any nation with which the United States is at war. You are classified as natives, native New Yorkers, natives of the land, wherever you were born, makes you a native. Then they reclassified you and nationalized you as a citizen. And we have subjects, okay, in the offices of, all right? Now, other than citizens of the United States, wherever resident or wherever doing business as the president, if he shall find the safety of the United States or the successful prosecution of the war shall so require, may be proclamation include within the term enemy the words ally of enemy as used herein shall be deemed to mean. So, if you're the enemy and your ally, your friends, your allies would be other natives, other citizens, and other subjects. They all work for these corporations. So they're the ally and you're the enemy. They have to help. So basically, the ally of the enemy, they're supposed to help you, but they're actually harming you. And they're doing it for Great Britain, the Vatican State, you know, can we go on? Russia, Germany, you know, it gets really deep when you start reading, my people, when you start understanding the spell on the words, okay? It's a spell on each word. Now, Trading with the Enemy Act, right? So we talked about notice of claim. There's a lot of things that you are going to have to do, okay, with that notice of claim. So get with the United States Private Enterprise Free State. We can, help you with that notice of claim. 407-300-5377. All right? Because my people, it gets deep when you are traveling down the rabbit hole. Okay? The rabbit hole really gets deep, my people. I mean, We got the drop on so much right now. A lot of stuff that even master gurus don't have the drop on it. And if they do got the drop on it, they ain't telling you because they trying to milk you out of $400 and $500 for a seminar. We giving classes for $25, like Gene Keaton used to give classes for $25, like PJ used to give classes for $25. All right, so that's how it's going down. All right, so you got 50 US code 4333 on taxes. All right, breaks it down for you. Know what I'm telling you? You might want to go and check that out. You know what I'm saying? You might want to check that out, my peeps. You might want to check that out. So, we got, payment of debts. You know what I'm saying? So, basically, claims, allowable defenses. Any property or interest vested in or transferred to the alien property custodian other than any property or interest acquired by the United States prior to December 18th, 1941, or the net proceeds thereof shall be equitable applied by the custodian in accordance with the provisions of this section to the payment of debts owed by the person who owns such property or interest immediately prior to its vesting in or transfer to the alien property custodian. So we know that the alien property custodian is the U.S. Attorney General, located where? In Washington, D.C. So, what is a person, my people? Well, as used in this subdivision, the term United States means the United States and any place subject to the jurisdiction thereof, provided, however, that the foregoing shall not be construed as a limitation upon the power of the president, which is hereby conferred to prescribe from time to time definitions not inconsistent with the purposes of this subdivision for any or all of the terms used in this subdivision. As used in this subdivision, the term person means an individual, partnership, association, or corporation. So, you have to know what person means when you are dealing with the U.S. Attorney General, because that he's looking at you as that person. So, if you're stepping to the U.S. Attorney General, then he's looking at you as an individual, a partnership if you're coming with other people, and it is a partnership. The U.S. Attorney General is in partnership with the individual, and the individual is us, we the people. So we have an interest in the property because the property was derivatized from your labor, and your labor was tied to your social security number, and your social security number was tied to your certificate of birth. The vessel and the deed is the certificate of birth. Okay? So, you're gonna have to get it right, my people. You step in, you better come correct. Straight up. We only giving you a little taste of what a class is like. What, the United States Private Enterprise Free State? $25. And our consultations are $30. Okay? Don't get no cheaper than that. You know what I'm saying? So, the beginning of war, my people. Does anybody out there know what the beginning of war is? Such other individuals or body or class of individuals as may be natives, citizens, or subjects of any nation which is an ally of a nation with which the United States is at war. So, the United States is at war with your ally, okay? Your natives, your citizens, and your subjects. So, we are reading from the beginning of war, okay? So, which is an ally of a nation with which the United States is at war, other than citizens of the United States, wherever resident or wherever doing business as the president, if he shall find the safety of the United States or the successful prosecution of the war shall so require, may be proclamation include within the term ally of enemy. The word person, as used herein, shall be deemed to mean an individual, partnership, association, company, or other unincorporated body of individuals or corporation or body politic. The word United States, as used herein, shall be deemed to mean all land and water, continental or insular, in any way within the jurisdiction of the United States or occupied by the military or naval forces thereof. The words, the beginning of war, as used herein, shall be deemed to mean midnight, ending the day on which Congress has declared or shall declare war, or the existence of a state of war. The words end of war, as used herein, shall be deemed to mean the date of proclamation of exchange of ratifications of the Treaty of Peace. Ratifications of the Treaty of Peace, unless the president shall, by proclamation, declare a prior date, in which case the date so proclaimed shall be deemed to be the end of the war. Within the meaning of this chapter, the words banks or banks, bank or banks, as used herein, shall be deemed to mean and include national banks, state banks, trust companies, or other banks or banking associations doing business under the laws of the United States or of any state of the United States. The words to trade, as used herein, shall be deemed to mean. So, basically, you need to go and study, this Trading with the Enemy Act. You got to study it, because you're not going to understand what's going on with you and why you need to do certain things. You're just going to be looking at other people and just listening and being like, you think they're crazy, but in all actuality, they're studying something that you're not studying. And if you studied it, you would be much further than you are right now. So, yes, studying law can be very boring, very tedious, but in the long run, it may save your life. So, my people, the people, okay? The custodian shall examine the claims and such evidence in respect thereof as may be presented to him or her, or as he may introduce into the record, and shall make a determination with respect to each claim of allowance or disallowance in whole or part. Okay? Funds for debt payments. So, the bottom line is that time limit for filing claims extension notice. The custodian, well, in this word, the U.S. Attorney General shall fix a date or dates after which the filing of debt claims in respect of any or all debtors shall be barred, and may extend the time so fixed, and shall give at least 60 days notice thereof by publication in Federal Register. In no event shall the time extend beyond the expiration of 2 years from the date of last vesting or transfer to the U.S. Attorney General of any property or interest of a debtor in respect of whose debts the date is fixed, or from August 8th, 1946, whichever is later. No debt shall be paid prior to the expiration of 120 days after publication of the first such notice in respect of the debtor, nor in any event shall any payment of a debt claim be made out of any property or interest or proceeds in respect of which a suit or proceeding pursuant to this chapter for return is pending and was instituted prior to the expiration of such 120 days. So you would have to read that, because basically, my people, we the people, there is a time limit for filing claims. There's a time limit for an extension notice, okay? You have examination of claims. You have funds for debt payments once you win your claim against the U.S. Attorney General. Okay. Amount payable, disallowance, notice review, additional evidence judgment. Okay. So you have to do your due diligence or get into this class. The class is $25, my people. Okay. 407-300-5377. Okay. You want this class? You want to be free? You want to get your shit into the registry? You want the drop on the upload? Okay. You want to be out? We got it. Yeah. Some people may be out, but you're never really out. Okay? Because you always have to have a jurisdiction where you expatriate to. Without a new jurisdiction, you cannot be free. Okay? You will be a nomad. Okay? That is why you must have and create your own state. We can help you do that. 407-300-5377. All right, my people. So we're about to get on up out of here. Okay? If you want relief, we got it. Okay? If you want freedom, we got it. If you want priority of claims, we got it, my people. If you want payment, if you want settlement, if you want closure, if you want your property back, we got it. Okay? Tune in. Call us up 407-300-5377. Peace to all my people in the private chat. You know what I'm saying? So, on that note, my people, we about to get on up and get on out of here. We gave you an hour of time. Sign up for the classes, my people. Okay? $25. Okay? For that 1 hour of a class. It's only 1 hour. Okay? So, each session of those classes are $25.